Africa, key to multipolar world, says Putin, as you can see linked up on Mark13news.com for July 26, 2023. And then linked up for July 27th as Putin meets with Prime Minister of Ethiopia, which is one of the countries listed in Ezekiel chapter 38 that will become part of the bear of Daniel chapter 7 at the woe of the fifth trumpet, when Satan and his angels get cast to earth and the so-called New World Order comes into being, having 7 heads, which are symbolic of the 7 continents of the planet Earth, and 10 horns, which are symbolic of 10 fallen angel kings that will get cast to earth with Satan at the woe of the fifth trumpet. The same 10 horns in Daniel chapter 7 that are part of Daniel's 4th beast, which is exclusively supernatural. Until then, nation will continue to rise against nation, meaning the Kenite nation rising against itself within the shadow government thereof, which is symbolized by the he-goat of Daniel chapter 8. And the great horn of the he-goat is the same thing as the one who sends a raiser of taxes, which is the United Nations, in my opinion, with the raiser of taxes itself being the Paris Climate Accord that went into effect in November of 2016, and part of the ongoing power struggle between the two warring factions of Kenites is the formulation of the Ezekiel 38 Confederacy headed by Gog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, which are most likely Moscow and Tobolsk, and the Russian Federation is the current king of the north according to the Daniel 11 hypothesis on biblicalresearchlabs.com. But at the woe of the fifth trumpet, when Satan and his angels get cast to earth, the Ezekiel 38 Confederacy will become the bear of Daniel chapter 7, which is the 4th king of the north, and that's also when the he-goat of Daniel chapter 8 will become the leopard of Daniel chapter 7, which is symbolic of the Kenites and their 4 hidden dynasties, providing the infrastructure of the one world political system, with the lion being symbolic of the Christian nations up until just after the deadly wound to the one world political system, when Satan appears as the Antichrist in Jerusalem at the woe of the 6th trumpet, healing the deadly wound, and that's when it goes from being a one world political system to a one world religious system, when most Christians begin worshiping Satan instead of Christ, which is what Antichrist means. The true Christ won't return until the woe of the 7th trumpet, 2.5 months later, and as the true Christ says in the last verse of Mark chapter 13, what I say unto you, I say unto all, watch.